do this, you aggregate that part of information. So when you are saying information decision, it is divided into these components, or these are some of the components of those information decisions. Now, we are saying cross-functional drivers. Another cross-functional driver, apart from information here, is technology or enabling technologies. Enabling technologies is one of those cross-functional drivers. Let's look at enabling technologies as cross drivers of supply chain performance. Let's look at the setup that we have here. You are a party, and I am a party. And today we are kind of transacting something, isn't it? Today we are transacting something in between us. You are a party, and I am a party here. So we are working on something. I'm standing in here, you are sitting there, we are exchanging something here. Now, let's look at what we've been doing maybe since morning. In the morning, somebody tried to communicate. Somebody was asking, are we having a class today or not? And of course, I saw that person then I was like, but yesterday we agreed that we're having a class, so this one is asking. Anyway, but that was the kind of communicating, right? After some time, I also communicated that I know, okay, we'll be meeting at probably at this particular time, and so on and so forth. Thanks to communication. It means without this communication, me, I knew that probably I'll be there, and of course you people, you knew that probably we will be here. But again, for us to verify who was there, we had to communicate between us. So, technology plays also a role in that one. So, similarly, in this supply chain environment, the same applies. You can have your own functions that you do, and that one also has its own functions, those ones as well. But technology is now enabling those ones to perform their duties probably better, efficiently and effectively. So, these technologies, they are also related to the same information that we've seen as a process driver. Why? Because even the information sharing itself is now more dependent on technologies. The information sharing is more dependent on technologies. That's why we are communicating so faster, efficiently, and effectively, thanks to technology. But not only in information, even in production, this technology is playing a crucial role, even in distribution and some other functions that are there in supply chain. So, management must always decide which technologies to use and how to integrate these technologies into their companies and, of course, in their partner companies. Now, the consequences of these decisions are becoming more and more important as the capabilities of these technologies grow. You are an organization in here. Now we are told for us to probably execute whatever we do in a more efficient manner. At least we can always make use of these technologies, or we can employ these technologies. However, they are saying the managers or those that are in decision-making positions must always decide on which technologies to employ or not to employ, depending on their needs, the size of their organization, and so on and so they are saying are becoming even more and more important as technologies are evolving, or as technologies are growing, or as technologies are changing, are developing more and more. So the consequences of the decisions that you take are also becoming critically important. So you are the decision makers in this organization. Now you are saying, okay, let us employ that particular technology to help us do ABCD. At the same time, we should also think of the consequences of or the effects of those decisions that you are taking, or the technologies that you are going to put in place. They are either going to have consequences or probably the effects. So, just to say in passing, we see that technologies are there to probably make our work easier or faster. There is always uniformity, and it costs less. So the technology will always help you to cut the cost. So I give you an example of robotic technologies that are used probably in hospitals and probably in assembly plants, especially those factories that manufacture, let's say, motor vehicles, TV sets, and so on and so forth. Those industries today, they are employing latest technologies, and some technologies that are being used are robotic technologies, right? Now, can we think of any consequence of bringing those technologies on board? We all know that with the use of robotic technologies, the chances are you are going to reduce the cost, the labor cost. Of course, the robots can be expensive, but they are part of once-off investment. They can be expensive, but once you buy them, they are there. So they will cut the cost, like the labor cost. And of course, there is uniformity in the production, and of course, there is speed. Can you think of any consequences that will come along with that in the long run? I've just cited that simple example, so you don't have to think so much outside the box or whatsoever. But I think within that example, the robotic technology, you are employing that one so that with its many advantages, you're going to benefit more. But we are saying we also have to think of the consequences of such a decision. So, can you think of any? Yeah, somebody saying maintenance. What are they? Maintenance? Maintenance costs. Okay. Maintenance costs. Alright? That's true. What else? Okay. There can be a number of consequences that are likely going to be there. One of which is what we call the erosion of organizational culture. When you're saying an organizational culture, here we can have this is an institution, and probably we are 10, 15, 20, or 30 employees. We can have our own culture. Say, okay, each and every morning when we come here, we meet together, we pray, then off we go to our respective workplaces. Even in workplaces, we have sections, and in the sections we interact. We always interact. If it is tea time, guys, come here, let's drink tea. Let's do this, let's do this. But now, with the coming of these technologies, it means most of the workers there are now machines. That culture of interaction and everything is now eroded. It's no longer there. Everything is machine dedicated to the work of machinery. you say in the long run and what are the problems in the long run. Why? Because at a small scale like this one, we may say we are saving. We are saying, okay, we are saving, we have employed machines and we have started 10 employees. Those 10 employees have been replaced by this machine or this machine. But where are those 10 people going to go? They will be jobless. And that company also does the same. And that other company also does the same. Now, when you produce things here, it is those employees from that company who buy your products that you produce. In fact, when those ones produce, it is your employees here who are the customers of that company they buy. But now, with the coming in of these machines at all, your employees, your salary, they are jobless. By being jobless, it means they do not have money in their pockets, they don't have the buying power, they are not going to buy. Even you in here, because those ones have been stuck to that side also, they don't have the buying power, who's going to buy your product? So you say that you're producing a lot, but people in your community, they don't have money to buy the stuff. So the cycle of poverty will just keep going. So while the employment of these technologies, yes, they are very good and excellent, but in the long run, they also have some consequences or some side effects. So when those decisions are being taken, those side effects must be considered. The cost of maintenance, as Sylvester has suggested, that's very true. You can employ the latest technology from China or from elsewhere. You install that machine in your factory. But now when it develops the fault, probably you may need people from China as well to come and maintain that one. So the cost of bringing those people in here to maintain whatever has a fault is also something to think about. So they are not discouraging, but it's kind of a caution to say, now when those decisions are being taken, then the decision makers must also keep in mind that there are consequences attached to them. Let us look at another driver here. Now this other driver is sourcing. Sourcing is another cross-functional driver. Now, sourcing is nothing but the bringing in of identification and the bringing in of whatever materials you are in need of. So you identify and you bring the materials here. So, sourcing is the set of business processes required to purchase goods and services. Sourcing is the set of business processes required to purchase goods and services. So, it starts with identifying the need. It starts with identifying the need in an organization that, okay, so this is what we need, or maybe we are running short of this particular item, but where do we get it? So you now start searching as to where and who can supply us with this kind of material. After identifying where that material is and who can supply us, then the next is how can we bring that material as? How can we get that material as now? You start doing that. So, from there is when you start contacting the supplier that you have identified. Now, by contacting them, the first is you ask for a quotation, for the particular product that you are looking for. They send you the quotation, and basically, it is always advisable that when you are asking for quotations, you do not ask from one supplier or from a single supplier. At least you ask from multiple suppliers. So, it means it starts from the identification stage. When you say you have identified the need, then you say, okay, there are maybe 3 or 4 suppliers of that particular item that you've identified. Now you select there, okay, this supplier, okay, at least 10 suppliers are in front of me. I think let me ask for quotations maybe from 3 or 4 suppliers. Then now, sorry for that interruption. So you ask for quotation or quotations from multiple suppliers, not only one supplier. Why? Because you need to compare the prices and probably some other conditions. So you get the quotations. Then from there, you pick the one that is probably favorable to you and your need, considering many other factors. Then you start transacting. So when you're starting transacting, you press an order there. Then those other processes that we know already, order processing, and so on and so forth, up to the point that you are able to get whatever you wanted. This is what we call sourcing. So is another cost driver of the supply chain performance. Why? Because without sourcing, you have no materials here. So for you to have the materials, you need to source them. You need to get them from elsewhere. So managers or decision makers must first decide which tasks will be outsourcing and those that will be performed within the firm. What is outsourcing? What is outsourcing? Outsourcing. Getting something through the window like this one. Maybe somebody is passing by, then just get it. Is this like this one? Then what is outsourcing?
It's like I can give example.
Yeah, sure. Give me another example.
Like here in beginning of term, services or beginning of term submitted to other institutions just
So,
to do some private services.
okay. So, that is an example, right?
Yes.
So, just to summarize your how can you do it? Already you have indicated that as well. That's most summary.
Okay. Getting some services from similar company or organization.
Alright. Sylvester, you wanted to polish up what she said? No. Sylvester? You wanted to polish up whatever she was saying? She's actually right, but I just wanted to sum. She went off track, on a single way actually. So I just wanted to kind of qualify what she was saying. What is now outsourcing? Okay, yeah. So previous, what is outsourcing? No. Now, Sylvester, I expect you now to say, what is outsourcing?
Okay, getting some services from other companies.
From other companies.
Yes.
Okay. In other words, that is it. Getting services from organizations or some inferiors outside your organization. That is because internally you may have inferiors, or else within your organization you have the capabilities of doing whatever you're supposed to do. But you feel like I think it's not enough. Let us get somebody from outside to do this on our behalf. Or else you do not have the capability itself. You can have the capability or you do not have the capability. But still more, by virtue of inviting somebody from outside to perform those duties for you, then that is outsourcing. So they say a manager must first decide which tasks to be outsourced and those that will be performed within the firm. So, for each outsourced task, the manager must decide whether to source from a single supplier or a portfolio of suppliers. So, if a portfolio of multiple suppliers is to be carried, then the role of each supplier in the portfolio must be clarified. This is interesting. The manager must decide, now we want to outsource. Are we going to outsource a single supplier or else a portfolio of suppliers or maybe multiple suppliers? But if it is a case of multiple suppliers, then at least the task of each supplier must clearly be clarified, communicated to the supplier, and of course even the members of your own organization and some other stakeholders. Now, I was relating this example saying, you may have, I want to relate an example actually, in the situation of outsourcing. Outsourcing here may come in different ways. Is either you have the capability to do something, you can do, but probably not up to that capacity. You have some limits, so you need somebody to help you. Or else you do not have the capabilities at all, so you just need somebody to come and do it for you, right? Then they are saying, is either you can choose to engage one supplier or to outsource one supplier or multiple suppliers. But if you are to engage multiple suppliers, at least the role of each one of them must be clearly clarified to them and of course to other stakeholders, even within your organization. Do you know what I'm saying? So the example I wanted to relate is that of construction works that are happening, for example, in Malawi here, in Lilongwe or elsewhere. We see these road construction works happening, other construction bridges, whatever, and so on and so forth. If you look around, you see different companies. Some are Chinese companies, some are worldwide companies, some are Portuguese. That's what we have. That is, those are some examples of outsources. The government outsources the services of those companies to come and do these things for us. Okay, so we are saying the government engaged these companies or outsourced the services of these companies to come in here. Now, does the government have the functions to do these works or not? The answer can be debatable. We can say yes or not. But in this case, we can say the government doesn't have the capacity to do this thing. That's why they are outsourcing. Isn't it? Now, there is a road project on the same example that I'm relating, that they are saying they are rehabilitating a road from here to Rumbat, going to the north, via Kasungu, Mzimba, and so on and so forth. I think you are aware of this one, right? They have been talking about this one for years. We're going to rehabilitate this road from Rumbat, going to the north, and so on and so forth. So far as we speak, it is said the companies were engaged and they have embarked on the works. The works have started that side. But if you observe, the companies that have been awarded contracts to do that one is not a single company. They are multiple companies. And they are being given stretches, some kilometers. I think one company will cover, 50 to 60 kilometers, then another company will cover another stretch, then another stretch, and so on and so forth. In this case, the client is the government of Malawi, the road authority or what have you. That is the client. So this one engaged the services of those companies from elsewhere. Others are Chinese, the Portuguese are in there, and some others from elsewhere. So it means the contract are different contracts in one project. The project is the road construction from Mumbai to, let's say, to Karonga is one project, but there are multiple contracts that are involved in there. Why? Because there are multiple contractors or companies that are involved. So, meaning each one of those contractors that were engaged was given his or her own task, and of course, the scope. They have their own scope. The scope is the limit. In other words, the limit at which they can work up to this age. And these are also start from here to there. So these ones were clearly clarifying. Still, on the stem, constructing this road from here to here, probably there are some other tactics that are not supposed to be done by this particular contractor. So it means he has to be sure of his limit or his scope. So this one has to be clarified clearly to this contractor and of course probably to the other stakeholders that are involved. Now, when it is to do with road construction, the other stakeholders that are involved in this are the population along the road, isn't it? Because where the road is passing through, probably there are villages. And the villagers, they have their houses along the road. And the villagers, they have their fields, gardens or whatsoever along the road. Shops and so on and so forth. Others, they have their livestock around, along the road, or along the stretch where the road is going to pass through, isn't it? So it means, at some point, these people, they shall always expect it, say, maybe compensation, or some kind of, yes, I'm talking of compensation. Probably these people will always expect that. Because for every person so far, kuna nyumba za mtatu mwingine. Kana mimi ndio ndio mwingine, mashughuli ndio mwingine. So, when awarding this contract, all the stakeholders have to be clearly clarified as to what is the role of this contractor and what is his scope. Meaning, the scope ya kuna mtu ndio kwanza ndio kumabilo. Kwa maana kwa compensate siri bali ma siri majamani ni. Then this not the stakeholders kabla answer wala ntimita bali. They have to be very aware of looking at them conversation to be about contractor. So this one has to be well clarified. So that is it, the scope. So when it comes to sourcing, this is what happens. So if it is one contractor, fine and good. If it is multiple contractors, there must be clear clarification as to what somebody is supposed to do or what he or she is not supposed to do. That is the role of sourcing in the supply chain. Now, the role of sourcing in the competitive strategy. The role of sourcing in the competitive strategy. So far, we have seen what sourcing is all about. And in our preceding discussions, we have talked about competitive strategy. So in short, for now, by now, we know what a competitive strategy is all about. When we say no, we have a competitive strategy, we know what is it all about. So, having seen what sourcing is all about, definitely one can connect that sourcing can also contribute to our competitive strategy. How we source our materials and all can determine whether we are going to be competitive or not. Do you know that? How we do our sourcing can determine whether we are going to be competitive or not competitive. The sourcing decisions are crucial. Why? Because they affect the level of efficiency and responsiveness the supply chain can achieve. Sourcing decisions can affect the level of efficiency and responsiveness when it comes to supply chain performance. Basically, most of the time when we're talking about efficiency, it's to do with the cost. When we're talking about this efficiency here, mainly we are concerned with the cost. Whereas when we are talking about responsiveness in this case, we are talking about the speed. We will together, right? So the sourcing decisions that you as manager are taking or may be taking will determine this is food. It is not it. Okay. Suppose you have your customers at Canada, you are based here. Those people, they expect you to produce something and give it them. Now, while you were sourcing, you were identifying the suppliers. You find that there is a supplier, one job. There is a supplier, we know data, we know Chipata, we know Plantar. They are scattered all over there. I was not how much to produce your money. Magas wants to buy your money. Now, you decide as it is. I think the name can use the materials from Chipata, Agunja. Even the old brothers who can go at once with the demand in South Agunja. Sleep is a material. I want them to prepare the material. But the material are the same. You bring them here, you start producing or you deliver. What are the chances that okay, who is likely going to respond first to the needs of the customer? It is this one. Why? Because where she is sourcing the material is not very far from where she is producing. So she will get the material, she will produce and deliver. While you are still there at Chipata, and then must have a border for person to be delivered. It will take you time to bring the materials here, produce and deliver. So the decisions that the people are making will determine the responsiveness. Who is going to be more responsive to the customers? Do you know that? So the decisions you are taking will determine how the speed at which you are going to deliver. But at the same time, you also have to think about the efficiency in terms of cost. Now, the cost of delivery, in your case, delivery gadgets to your customer, may also be determined by the sourcing decisions that you are taking. So, say you are sourcing those materials through a third party, or there is a chain of supplier to supply you actually. You are a supplier, you want to, okay, you are a producer, but in the eyes of your customer, you are a supplier, right? But now as a producer, for you to get the materials, there is also a chain behind you. Now, they will deliver, of course, you produce and deliver there by Canada. But when it comes to the cost, what do you think? It's going to be expensive because each one of those people in the chain that was supplying you, will always need his or her commission or something as a profit in the name of the profit. So by the time this material is reaching to you here, it's already expensive. You produce something for you to at least get something out of it also as a profit. The chances are your product will be a bit more expensive. You have to put something on top of it in order for you at least to get something as a business person. So, in terms of competitiveness, the chances are you're not going to be more competitive. Why? Because for you to make a profit, you have to increase your price. Whereas the customer on the other side will always want a price that is a bit lower. So, whoever in this case has a lower cost of production is also likely going to have his product having lower prices. So if you are having lower prices, the chances are you'll be a bit more competitive. So the decisions that people are making here when it comes to sourcing will determine those two important areas. Okay, so There are three of them. One is in-house or outsourced. In-house or outsourced, that is a decision, or a component of sourcing decisions, that is. Then we have what we call supplier selection. Then we have what we call procurement. These are some of the components of sourcing decisions. So, here is what happens. We are saying decisions are probably taken by either the managers, business owners, and so on and so forth. In other words, the leaders of that organization are the ones who always take these decisions on how to source materials or how to source the stuff. So these people will always sit like the way we are doing and say, could he say this many people for now? Or else, so that's in-house or outsourced. It's a component of the decisions they are making. We are assuming that way. So we are this service that we need here, because the sourcing is probably a service that needs to be done, or else a product that needs to be brought in here. So are we going to do this one ourselves? Yes or no? Here it doesn't say I think this here. That's one thing. The second thing, components is what? Supply selection. Now we say, okay, I think he doesn't say outsourced. Let us invite people to be. People should always be. Then the bidding process and everything will now be done. After this process has been done, it reaches the point of now selecting who should be given this contract to supply us with these materials or the services or to execute these works and so on and so forth. So that's another component of sourcing decisions. Then we are saying another component is procurement itself. Right? Now, so procurement is like now, in other words, whether it's to buy those materials, to buy those services, and so on and so forth. So, that is the components. Now, when sourcing, in each and every organization, whatever you are doing is either you're a service provider, you're a producer of some product, whatever you are doing, there is this function in organizations, probably you know you might have heard it. They say monitoring and evaluation, isn't it? You have heard monitoring and evaluation. So monitoring and evaluation is nothing but assessing whether you are progressing or not, or the path or the method that you are using in doing something, are they the correct one or not? So by assessing, by evaluating, first you monitor. Then you evaluate. By doing that, you'll be able to say, let us continue as it is, or else let us change the way we are doing it. So, when you're doing monitoring and evaluation, there are always tools that are always used. Because without those tools, it is difficult for you to do a particular thing. So even in monitoring and whatsoever, there are always those tools. We have what we call indicators, performance indicators. We have what we call the benchmark, and so on and so forth. Of course, some of them we should not preempt now because this is the job of the law. Using those indicators, those benchmarks and everything, you are able to see where you are when it comes to the performance of whatever is happening. So, even here in sourcing, the methods at which you are doing your sourcing, the approaches that you are taking when it comes to sourcing, must also be evaluated at some point to see that these approaches are in line with our company organization objectives or not after evaluation. If you find that the answer is no, then you change the approach. So there are those measurements that will help you to evaluate to do this assessment. Now, these measurements that we use, we call them metrics. So the metrics are the measurements. In this case, that will help us to evaluate, to assess our sourcing methods or our sourcing approaches, whether they are in line with our objectives or they are not in line with our objectives. So, when it comes to sourcing, here are some of the metrics that are related to sourcing or sourcing related metrics. If at all you can write that one, it will do you a lot of good. Sourcing related metrics. Now, one is the days payable outstanding. That's one metric. The days payable outstanding. That's one thing. Average purchase price. Average purchase quantity. Average purchase quantity. Supply quality. Supply lead time. And probably many more others. These are some of the metrics. Now, using these metrics or these measurements, one will at the end of the day aggregate or putting them together, analyze them and see that this kind of approach we are using in sourcing is really good or not, or it is in line with our objectives or not in line with our objectives. For example, ndipo wewe sababu kimoja kama tumemetrics ya pamoja. Kuti mametrics ya ndimienzo kabla mameja ndana kutulize kuzo na mimi tupangira sourcing yake ya things ziku either the most many kufunia that is the cover objectives. Kabla things kwenda the most many ikitu kufunia organization. Demo sana metric moja da kuti average purchase price. Now, you sit down and say if you want to see one of tifuna ti karibu watu wetijia zile pamoja tufanye de achieve efficiency de kwa hiyo kumwe sikuenda kwa hiyo kusafiri kutaka kustafu tizikula maji au maji kuzienda huko. Now on average you have to analyze kwa sababu ni tutika kwa average price masamba. Okay? Then suppose tila kama kuti karibu tumaga kola mna kublanda. Of course tukukisa chilo angalia adhabu kula ndio sema jambo za fikiri. Kuli lazima tukamsha kwa pamoja. Akaanza kila mtu average price ndio matendasi. Hivi mna sura mambo ya blanda because on average the transport and everything average price ya zimoja za purchase zimoja za kuna kuti ugogo sibeka kisha mambo ya propose. I think next time TCA no mambo ya kula blanda. So you use this metric on the pricing, then you have realized that at least this approach is better than this other approach. So of course we are saying the supplier quality, supplier lead time. Those are some of the metrics. So Zinazo will look into them as we go along the way. Especially by the time lead time. Lead time is a big for second level is high. People for my summit job and lead time is high. So looking at many people. So if you want the number, you people pay attention to it. Then what is going on? Team of people So the trade-off, that is trade-off, sourcing, in order to increase the supply chain profits. Sourcing decisions should be made to increase the size of the total profit to be shared across the supply chain. Sourcing decisions should be made to increase the size of the total profit. There is no business executive who will always make obvious decisions in order to make those things. Is it? But even now, business into the kind of I didn't tell about the my decisions I want to digital business digital. So my decision to we need to maximize the profit. Now, the total profits are affected by the impact of sourcing on sales, service production costs, inventory costs, transportation costs, and information costs. So, while you are sourcing, you're making the system to source, you have to consider the other factors that will affect the profit. The other factors that will affect the total profit. Here, the issue is simple. This is how simple it is. We are assuming we are bread producers. Now, 1 loaf of bread is being sold at, let's say, 1,500. And to produce a loaf of bread, you may need baking flour that is worth, let's say, 400 watts. Then you may need sugar that is worth 100 watts, maybe 500 watts. And probably you may need the yeast that is worth 100 watts, maybe you need 600 watts. Probably we assume that these 4 are the components or the materials that will make it possible for you to bake bread. So you may say, okay, so once I procure flour to 400 watts, that is on 100 watts, 600 watts, then bread 1.5, then I'll make huge profits. Fine. But while you're doing that, you should not forget that there are some other factors that will still affect your profits, apart from these ones. All those factors together, they make this what we call the cost of production. Now, what are some costs? We have issues to do the labor costs, they're involved in there. The transportation costs, they are involved in there. The storage costs are in there. We have issues with power and marketing and gas, those are also there. So, while you are making the sourcing decisions, you also have to consider the other factors that are related to the cost of production and will affect the profit in the long run. So, in this case, forget about the labor costs, forget about the whatsoever. Think about the transportation and storage costs. Procurement I think it's not just procure in large quantities. This is from the stores. Commerce. I think the room will be cheaper at South Africa. This doesn't South Africa. The way it is that so that as by this is about produce somebody food. That is a decision, procurement decision, or sourcing decision. But now think about the transportation costs that are going to be involved and the storage costs that are going to be cut. This one, if you put them together, you will find that because of now the raw material that by the time materials that altogether are about 1,200 not subject to anything. Why? Because by that means made that were involved. So your procurement decision or the sourcing decision you made is the one that has contributed to, that has attracted all these other forces to be attached to this material. So your decision to go and procure things in South Africa and in large quantities of course and put them in a warehouse, that decision is costing you now GI. Why? Because it has attracted an necessary cost attached to it. As a result, you find that you are not making profits. This is the reason some businesses, most of businesses, they fail. Most of them they fail. And even myself, I've also failed many times. Why? Because when you want to procure something, at times we tend to just ask, hey, you go out of that. They will tell you, how do you want to know? Then you say, okay, you get about it. Because I think it's not close to the different house. But now we're forgetting about those other transportation, and so on and so forth. Putting them together, you are always at a loss. So, when we are talking about the trade-offs, we have to think about the decisions we are taking, and of course, the losses that we are likely going to make. Then we have to strike a balance because the decisions that we are taking, at least, should not cost us this much. Of course, it is likely going to cost us, but the cost of that decision should not be that great to the point of keeping us out of business. So the total profits are affected by the impact of sourcing of sales, service, production costs, even cost transportation costs, and of course information costs. On the same, partially for when outsourcing to a third party is meaningful if the third party raises the supply chain profit more than the film can by its own. Outsourcing to a third party is meaningful if the third party raises the supply chain profits more than the film can do on its own. So in contrast, a film should keep the supply chain function in-house if the third party cannot increase the supply chain profits. In other words, if you are to engage in somebody else, the chances are cost equals of where equal cost that is cost of production. As a result, the waste was raised, whether can be able to raise the pricing and Mutama based on customer in the wrong run. Finally, let's look at another cost driver, pricing. So the role of pricing in the supply chain. Pricing is a process by which a firm decides how much to charge customers for its goods and services. The process by which a firm or an organization decides how much to charge customers for its goods and services. Many of the organizations will also determine can I call you in the next 10 minutes? Yeah, sure. So, pricing affects the customer segment that choose to buy the product as well as customer's expectations. Pricing affects the customer segment that choose to buy the product as well as the customer's expectations. Many which can graduate pricing as it can separate the customer, it can segment the customer. So, it can determine how much customers you're going to have or how much customers you are likely going to lose. Now, this directly affects the supply chain in terms of the level of responsibility required as well as the demand profile that the supply chain attempts to save. The pricing will determine demand. True or false? The pricing will determine demand.
Yeah.
True or false? How true is this?
The high demand, the lower the
the pricing determine demand. Then you say then how?
The price is high, the demand will be low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then so that if this one persists, if this one continues, the trend continues, what happens to your business?
You make losses.
You make losses.
Yeah.
Eventually, okay, how will you make the losses in your church? How will you make the losses?
Okay. There, customers may opt for another seller which comes from at least a good price, a different price. So as such, you invest in selling more your product or take longer to
Okay. In other words, you'll be losing customers.
Yes.
And eventually you'll be losing the market share.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You'll be losing the market share, eventually you'll have no customer at all. Right? This is how you are killing your own business at the end of the day. Okay? So pricing is the lever that can be used to match supply and demand. Short-term discounts can be used to eliminate supply surpluses or decrease seasonal demand. Okay? So, in short, pricing is one of the most significant factors that affect the level and type of demand the supply chain will face. Alright, so next one, this one is the role of pricing in a competitive strategy. This one we're going to read, and we have the related metrics that are related to this one. I think you're also going to read, and of course the trade-offs